Here's a ranking for all the How to Train Your Dragon films. I did a marathon of the animated trilogy the week before the live action remake came out, and I figured afterwards I'd do one of my classic ranking vids. Unlike my Lilo and Stitch ranking video a few weeks ago, this ranking would only have the films and not include any of the shorts or somewhat connected TV shows. I haven't seen all of them, and to be honest, I didn't care to try. This order will go from worst to best, so sit back, relax, and I hope you enjoy.
Thank you for nothing, you useless reptile.
The 2025 live-action remake of How to Train Your Dragon is an exact replica of the 2010 film, just in live-action of course, and with minimal additions. It made for a really weird experience watching this film, because since it was completely replicating its source, I felt a lot of those great qualities and emotions of the first film. And it did do a great job of bringing the world of dragons to life, imperfectly recreating the sets. The visual effects were great, and it was a nice touch bringing back Gerard Butler. But I do think it's shockingly lazy just to completely redo the original film shot for shot. There can be a nice balance of having a lot of differences and being a faithful remake. And when you strike that nice balance, it makes for a more engaging viewing experience. If the remakes of the remaining sequels are going to go this route, then I don't think there's a whole lot to anticipate or look forward to. But it does work well if you haven't seen the first How to Train Your Dragon or any of the films, so there's that at least. How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World was the conclusion of the trilogy, released in 2019. It has Toothless falling in love with a female Night Fury.
Oh, not quite. It's more like a bright...
A light fury.
Yeah, yours is better.
While this is happening, a new Conqueror-type villain seeks to eliminate all dragons. The highlight of the film is Toothless and Light Fury's interactions. That dance scene is really something else. But it's great development for the world itself and seeing how far relationships between dragons and Vikings have come, which makes you feel the emotion when that union is threatened for various reasons. I didn't mind the villain. He had decent villainous vibes going on, although his motivations were a bit convoluted. The film's best quality though is its sense of conclusion, which you feel during the final act, and especially the ending. It's one of the best things about the end of a trilogy when you get that sense of finality, and it was a well-earned one in paying off Hiccup and Toothless's relationship.
It's you and me, bud. Always.
How to Train Your Dragon 2 released in 2014, 4 years after the breakout hit of the first film. It sees Hiccup and friends taking on a fierce Conqueror-type personality named Drago, who's using his own army of dragons to threaten the peace at Berk. And Hiccup encounters his long-lost mom. Kind of a big deal. You can see the major upgrade in animation in this film compared to the first film with the newly allocated budget. Combine that with the flying scenes, the action, and improved character models, and the film looks great. There was some nice heart to the initial stuff with Hiccup's mom, although I thought the reason for her staying away all those years was pretty f***ing stupid. Worst mom ever. The best thing here though is the villain Drago. His voice, physique, and ruthlessness were all kinds of great for a villain. He'd kick the shit out of any modern Disney villain, that's for sure. And his presence really elevates the stakes and emotion during the second half of this movie.
Dragons and Vikings! Enemies again! Oh! Ah!
As with any animated franchise, there's just a special magic to that original film, and that holds true for the first How to Train Your Dragon released in 2010. The friendship and bond between Hiccup and Toothless was something special to behold, with Hiccup being a rootable, albeit whiny underdog, and Toothless being totally lovable in basically every way. That Chris Sanders Stitch-inspired design for Toothless worked wonders, giving him the perfect balance of fierce, cute, and occasionally vicious. But it's that cuteness we all love the most. The only problem in modern viewings in comparison to the other two films is the animation here. It's not that it's bad, but you can tell it's like the first Despicable Me, where you can tell they weren't working with a huge budget because it wasn't an established animated franchise. The character movements are fine, It's just the rendering that looks very dated. But it's a testament to the wonder and charm of the movie that's able to overcome this all these years later. The flying scenes are incredible, the character development is great, and the score is wonderful, making it the best How to Train Your Dragon film.
Thank you for nothing, you useless reptile.
DreamWorks How to Train Your Dragon in 3D.
And there you have it with the ranking of all the How to Train Your Dragon films. It was definitely fun to revisit the animated trilogy before checking out the new film. Although I might have felt different coming out of the new film had I not just watched the original film the week prior, as all I could think about watching this new one was, wow, this is a complete replica of the first film. And I think that's for better and for worse when it comes to artistic integrity. The sequel to this new remake is already set for 2027, and given how the film did well on its opening weekend, I'm happy it did well. I guess you can expect a complete remake of the 2014 sequel. Again, doing things shot for shot is for better and for worse. For the better, it makes it so that fans can't mad at the filmmakers for f***ing key things up, a la some of the changes in Lilo and Stitch. But I think it makes for less engaging experience when things are done shot for shot. Then again, who gives a shit what I think? So that'll do it for this ranking of all the How to Train Your Dragon films. If you made it to the end of this video, thank you for watching.